This is McCook's Mr. Bill. I'm in Massacre Canyon here in southwest Nebraska. I've done a video on conspiracy of this area and what happened and why it happened and how it was they got the Pawnee and the Sioux to fight and how it was no accidental meeting. But rather today I'd like to tell you of a couple of events to give you just a little bit of the horror of that battle and the mindset. For the Pawnee and the Sioux were the most bitter of enemies. And the Pawnee, as they were moving up, 2 weeks before they got there to that canyon, 2 weeks before, the Sioux knew they were coming and prepared. Because in a Stone Age setting, you don't move 1,500 warriors within a mile of the spot unless you're planning for a serious battle. The battle itself. Sky Chief, which was the chief of the Pawnee, had heard that there were buffalo up the canyon, so they crossed the river and they moved up to the buffalo. However, he was confronted by the beginnings of the Sioux as they were coming over. Almost 50 men against him and his son, and his little boy was just sitting in front of the horse in front of him as they were riding up there. As soon as they saw the Sioux, he realized he wasn't going to make it. He had lost his wife the year before to a Sioux raid, and he, with a mindset that you can't imagine, he took his son, lifted him off the horse, and he took his knife and slit his own son's throat and said, "You will not kill him today." With that, a hail of bullets finished him then from the Sioux. The battle was as vicious as you could imagine. The numbers that are posted by the government are total lies. Both Pawnee and Sioux tell that now, because they didn't want it to look any worse than it was. But about 50 Sioux were killed and 150 Pawnee. And of course another 50, or near 50, mostly women, were captured by the Sioux. The Pawnee escaped due to the bravery of their own men willing to give their lives to hold back the Sioux. And the women and children that did escape got down another 8 miles down near Culberson before they ran into the military troops that were supposed to protect them. So the troops came on up then and to Massacre Canyon, and they saw the bloody carnage. But they found one woman still alive, a Pawnee woman. She'd been abused, but she was clutching her baby, and the baby was still alive. They then took and the doctor went back to his horse to get some stuff to try to help her as she was gravely wounded. When he turned around to come back to her, to his horror, the Pawnee woman had pulled out a knife and slit the throat of her baby. He said, "If I live to be 1,000 years old," he said, "I'll never understand the mindset of the Stone Age people not to give up their children, and it's better to kill your child than to let an enemy have them." It was a terrible thing and a terrible event for this area to start with. And there were other atrocities in this area. This is McCook's Mr. Bill. I hope this area never has to see anything like that again. But I have the feeling the next war will make that one look tame. Rate this film.